Picture this. You are sitting in a window seat, cruising at 35,000 feet. Suddenly, the seatbelt sign pings, the cabin shakes, and for a split second, a terrifying thought crosses your mind. If this plane goes down, I'm trapped. We have life jackets for water landings, we have oxygen masks for air pressure, so it begs the question, why in the entire history of commercial aviation have airlines never provided the one thing that seems most obvious? Why don't planes carry parachutes for passengers? The answer isn't just about money, it's about physics, human psychology, and the brutal reality of the atmosphere. Welcome to Simple Things Surprising Histories. Today, we're explaining why a parachute under your seat would actually be the worst idea possible. First, we have to look at the environment. When you see skydivers in movies, they usually jump from a small plane traveling at around 100 miles per hour at an altitude of maybe 10,000 to 13,000 feet. A commercial airliner is a completely different beast. You are cruising at 35,000 feet, 3 times higher than a typical skydive. At this altitude, the air is so thin that if you were to jump, you would lose consciousness from a lack of oxygen, a condition called hypoxia, in literally seconds. You'd be passed out before you even pulled the ripcord. Then there is the temperature. It is roughly 60 degrees below zero outside. Without a thermal flight suit, your eyes and skin would freeze almost instantly. But the biggest killer is speed. Commercial jets cruise at nearly 600 miles per hour. If you jumped out of a door at that velocity, you wouldn't be falling. You would be slamming into a wall of wind so hard it would likely cause fatal trauma instantly. Let's assume you have a pressure suit and an oxygen tank. You still have a major engineering problem: getting out. Commercial airplane doors are plug doors. They are designed to seal tighter as the internal pressure of the cabin increases. At cruising altitude, thousands of pounds of pressure are pushing that door against the frame. No human being is strong enough to push it open. Even if the plane depressurized and you could open the door, look where the engines are. On most passenger jets, the engines are wing-mounted. If you jumped out of the side doors, the airflow would likely suck you straight into the engine or slam you against the tail of the aircraft. To make parachutes viable, airlines would have to completely redesign planes with a rear ramp, like a military cargo jet, which would fundamentally change the aerodynamics and safety of the entire fuselage. Finally, there is the human element. Skydiving requires hours of training on the ground to learn how to strap on the harness, deploy the chute, and land without breaking your legs. Now imagine trying to instruct 200 terrified passengers, including children and the elderly, to strap on complex gear during a turbulent emergency. It would be chaos. The bulky gear would also add massive weight to the plane, roughly 4,000 to 6,000 pounds per flight. This would burn significantly more fuel, raising ticket prices sky high, all for a piece of equipment that statistically you could never use. Why? Because according to aviation data, the vast majority of accidents happen during takeoff and landing, situations where the plane is too low for a parachute to even open. The reality is, the plane is your safety device. It is designed to glide even if engines fail, and the pilots are trained to bring you down safely, not to have you jump out. While the idea of a personal parachute feels safe, in a commercial airliner, your seatbelt is actually much more likely to save your life. That's it for today's deep dive. Did this change how you feel about flying? Let me know in the comments. If you enjoyed this story, please hit the like button and subscribe to Simple Things Surprising Histories for more answers to the questions you've always wondered about. Safe travels, and see you in the next video.